Good morning. Welcome to the Cabot Trail. We are up near Baddock, I think is how they pronounce it, or Baddock? Baddock. For the Cabot Trail. It's going to be mostly driving. We got here late last night after driving in the rain all the way here, but we're going to be here for a week. We leave Sunday for Newfoundland on the ferry, but we've got a whole week to spend here on the north side of Nova Scotia. So we're going to have some fun. We're going to head up the Cabot Trail right now to the visitor center and see if we can find ourselves a hike and possibly a warmer jacket.
Yes, definitely. Let's go.
Good morning, or afternoon, I don't know. We just finally made it all the way up here to the Ingonish Visitor Center for the National Park, and the first trail we're going to go head out on is called Middlehead. It's supposed to have some spectacular views, but if you look, everything is fog. So 2.8 miles, it's a loop, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, how fun. This trail is all under construction. They're moving us back and forth, and unfortunately it's still all fogged in. I don't know if you can see the difference between water and cloud out there, but I bet this is beautiful when it's not foggy. We may have to come back up here. We're here for 7 days, so.
Yes, we might.
All right,
let's go. Nice to get some crunch under our feet.
Ah, this is true. We are out here hiking. That's good. Well, we're getting closer as we're going down. I don't know if you can hear those waves crashing. It's still quite foggy, but we're getting there. All right, even though it's still foggy, this is pretty awesome. The trail is under construction as they're rerouting it. Very, very muddy. But look what we just popped out to.
There's a bird up there. Is it an eagle? Up to your right. Up to your right. No, it's seagull.
Well, we're finally at the end loop of the trail. And we are rewarded with some spectacular views. Okay, we just did Middlehead. It goes out a very thin piece of land, 2 loops on it. One of the loops was closed. They forced you to go one way, and at the other end of the loop, they were doing a bunch of construction. It was very muddy. It ended up being 3.72
miles.
Yeah, a lot longer.
Yes.
And as you can see, the fog has moved back in. The fog has got really thick.
Yes.
Everything, we're soaking wet from the fog. But at the very end, it was it cleared up a little bit, so we got some really good views of the waves crashing against the rocks. It was kind of cool.
Yes, it was.
Some spots were really steep. As you can see, I had to shed the jacket, but it was a good hike. So that was our first hike here on the Cabot Trail.
Yes, it was good. It was good. It was enjoyable. I would like to see the views, but
Yeah.
that's okay. It was halfway in the. I mean, most of the time you're in the forest anyway,
Sure.
so. But you can hear, and that was what was beautiful. You can hear the foghorns in the distance, and you can hear the waves crashing.
Yep,
So,
and the waves are crashing up against
that
the
was
rocks.
nice.
You can hear as you're going through the forest.
Yes,
So.
yes, yes.
This is our first day. They're saying it might clear up on Wednesday. If we do that, then we'll do the Skyline Trail when it's clear. That's supposed to be absolutely beautiful. But I actually wouldn't mind coming back here if we get some clear up. But we'll see. There's a lot to do on the Cabot Trail. So
Yes,
we don't
there
know if
is.
we'll have time to do this again. So.
Yep.
All right, let's go see what the afternoon brings.
Let's do it.
Well, good morning. It's finally stopped raining a little bit on this side of the mountain. It's still raining up there in the Cabot Trail, but we'll hopefully get back up there. But for a rainy day, we decided to hit the Alexander Graham Bell Museum. I'm not sure why there's an Alexander Graham Bell Museum here, but we're going to go find out.
Yes, we are.
By the way, it is part of the National Historic Site, so if you did go get your cards your National Park card pass. It'll work here.
Yes.
Let's go inside and see what we got. Okay, got it. It makes sense now. He was born in London. Alexander Graham Bell was born in London, but moved with his parents to Ontario, at which point he visited the Baddeck area. And then much later, after the invention of the phone, which happened in Boston, by the way, and he lived down there teaching, he bought land up here in Baddeck, Nova Scotia. Now it makes sense why this is here. Interesting, something I did not know. He was experimenting with light to transmit sound waves. Seems to me like the predecessor of fiber optics. So a couple of years after the Wright brothers flew in Kitty Hawk, he was doing a bunch of experiments up here. He started off with triangles, but ended up with an airfoil wing, like the Wright brothers. But really exciting is all the triangles that he really got into with the hydrofoils. He made a hydrofoil boat, which are still used today. I did not know that. Museums are very interesting. All right, that was really interesting. Definitely a couple hours worth, not a whole day. Definitely a couple hours worth. And I think I did mention he actually ended up buying 50 acres up here, built a huge house and laboratory, and he's actually buried there. And yeah, let's see if we can point to it, Ange.
Right here.
That point, that hill right there. Nope. The hill that way. Yeah, that hill right there, the very tip of that is his 50 acres, his house, and his, that's where he's buried. So,
And his laboratory.
And his laboratory. So interesting. A little bit of history of him. It was really good to come here and learn all that.
Absolutely.
Anything special, Ange?
I think the thing that stood out to me so much was his wife, just because she was an integral part of everything, and that she owned 90% of his company. Yeah. He loved his wife so much he gave 90% of his stock to Bell, the telephone company. Yes.
To his wife.
Yes, I thought that was.
And she funded a bunch of his experiments from that point on.
Yes, and she ran everything as well financially, which would make sense because he was a creative inventor type, and she was kind of the foundation and made sure he could do everything he wanted to do. So. All
right, well, anyhow, if you're in the area, in the Baddeck area, definitely stop by. Again, our cards work to get us in, so it was free to us, but I think it was $9 an adult if you don't have the Canadian National Park Pass.
And
so.
Look, sun.
Sun's trying to come out. Maybe we'll go do some hiking somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Add it to your list. Bye. The sun finally came out. Of course, it's coming out in the late afternoon, so we can't go hike. But there's our RV, and there is the bridge that goes over to the other island here in Nova Scotia. Just absolutely beautiful out there. And if you go all the way up that canal of water, it goes up to the North Atlantic. This campground is the North Sydney / Cabot Trail KOA. Okay, another rainy day, so we're doing museum type stuff. We are at the Louisbourg, I think it is, Louisbourg, Nova Scotia. There's a museum here of the fort that the French held when we were at the Citadel. That was built in, I guess, to replace this or to combat this. So this is the one that the French had. So kind of interesting, a whole lot of history here. We're going to go do some walking around and some exploring while we're getting rained on. So let's go get wet. I mean, let's go learn some history.
It's a little chilly.
So this is a fortress, but it's also an entire town. And all the different buildings we can get into and see, like this building right here is an engineering building. This goes out to the port. Really kind of cool how they've got this set up, and they've got actors in period outfits acting as if they were in the period. Just really kind of cool so far. And we've only hit maybe 25% of it. So I'm not seeing any description of what this is, but taking a look at it, it's in the center of the square. I'm wondering if this is where people got punished.
Yeah.
But I don't see any plaques to explain it, so that's just a guess on my part. So if you're doing a self-guided tour, Building 34, the upstairs gallery, is magnificent. There's original paintings in here from back when it was a valid seaport and a fort. Still upstairs, Building 34. Some absolutely fabulous artwork. And very interestingly, some wooden ships. Alright, so we just finished touring downtown. Now we're going to the fort. There's the guardhouse, and there's the fort. Very similar to the Citadel, although I'm not seeing a drawbridge, but I see a moat or a ditch as you walk through.
I wonder if it had water in it at one time. I would think it would.
It may have. That'd be a good question for that gentleman up there in uniform.
I am going to ask him.
Let's go on into the fort. So we're inside the fort now. I'm up on the back wall. And you've got a cannon garrison back here going out over land. A little tunnel down there for hand rifles to shoot in the ditch. Which, by the way, we found out they are not filled with water. They're to protect the bottom of the stone walls from cannonball fire to keep them from collapsing. And there's another set of cannons over on the other side there for the harbor. So one of the gun turrets, I guess you'd say, on the fort, you can look through them. Look how thick that wall is. How many cannonballs would it take to knock down that wall? Wow. What a difference a couple hours makes.
Right?
The sun is now shining, and we got nice blue water out there behind us. We also have a horse behind us. That was used for punishment for the guards if they fell asleep or did insubordination or something. They'd put weights on their ankles and make them sit up there.
With their hands tied behind their backs.
Yeah, doesn't sound like very fun or comfort.
Public humiliation.
Yep. Well, anyhow, that's going to wrap up the Louisburg Fortress. It was really interesting. Very set up similar to the Citadel, but this was the French version of it. There was lots of artifacts here, lots of rooms with artifacts. They actually have a storeroom up there with the boxes numbered, just like they do in real life. So it's kind of interesting. Lots of people in character around here, and they don't like to break character. So anyhow, I thought it was enjoyable.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes, I really enjoy, especially the actors and dressed up, and then you can walk into a room and say, well, where are we? And then you can ask them who you are. Oh, are you Irish? Oh yes, there were so many Irish here, as well as French, as well as actually one of the buildings, one of the first buildings we walked into, it was really interesting because she was saying that because it was like 6,000 people in the summertime were here coming in through the harbor, all different languages were spoken.
Yeah, 3,000 permanent residents, 6,000 during the summer, plus all the visitors from the boats, the military, and merchants and fishermen coming in. So
it made it really, so it was a very cosmopolitan city at that time in 1744.
Yep. Again, our Parks Canada card got us in. This time of year, it was only saved us $9 a person, but he said starting June 3rd when they open, or July 23rd when they open, it's $20 a person. So definitely get your Parks Canada national card. So
Definitely.
Okay, we're going to call that a day and head on back to the RV.
Let's go.
So we're over on the west side of the Cabot Trail. It's beautiful roads, some very steep roads. We've hit some pretty steep road, but the view is awesome even with the fog. But man, I bet this would be gorgeous without the fog. Okay, we made it to the Skyline Trail. It's supposed to be the #1 trail up here on the Cabot Trail up in Nova Scotia area. So we're going to go out and do it. What was it, like 5.9 total if we do the whole loop? It's still kind of foggy. We may just go to the outlook or overlook and see what what they call it here, a look off.
Look off, yes.
That's what it's called up here.
Yes.
Go to the lookout and see what it looks like with the weather, and then we'll just head from there and see which way we go.
Yes, let's go.
Let's go do it. So far, it's a cool trail. Side-by-side walking. Interestingly, the place is completely full of fiddleheads. That's these ferns that are curled up like the beginning of a fiddle.
Look at those speeches of you.
All kinds of them all curled up. They're going to bloom up into nice big ferns. But anyhow, the trail itself so far is awesome. We're hoping we're going to get some really good views. Normally I take a picture of Angel while walking. Let me stop for a second. There we go. There she is. Well, this is interesting. The Park Service has put up a gate and a fence to keep the moose out of the new growth forest, trying to see if it makes a difference. But it happens to cut right across the trail, so they put a gate there that we have to open and close to go through. We're coming up to the other side of the penned-in area to keep the moose out. We got to go through the gate again, or a different gate on the other side. Thank you, Angel.
You're welcome.
We've got a bunch of fog, which is potentially going to be very disappointing for our views. But what really is interesting, I don't know if you can see it, but look at the water driplets or droplets on the trees from the fog that's been rolling in. Well, we just passed the intersection where the loop portion comes back in. This is the boardwalk going out to the viewpoint. Just passed a sign that said we could have winds up to 200 kilometers an hour, but I don't think that's happening today. But it did say a $238 Canadian fine if you step off the boardwalk. All right, look at this spectacular view.
Not.
But you can see a little bit of the cliff back there behind you. But yeah, if we swing around, that's all ocean out there. You know, I kid about the spectacular view, but I bet it really is gorgeous. But you know, I also kid. You know, we're out here. We're not sitting in an office somewhere. We're actually out here doing something. So
exactly.
Enjoying it, even though it may be foggy. But we're gonna enjoy it anyhow.
Yes, yes.
Okay, we're back.
Yes, we are.
It was about 4.5 miles. We did not do the loop. We went out and back to get to the viewing point. Again, totally fogged in, but it was still a wonderful hike. Lots of people, very, very friendly people up here. So
yes.
It was worth it.
Still foggy, just like...
Yeah, it's
still foggy.
It's still pretty foggy out there. We're going to continue going north over the Cabot Trail.
Okay, let's go.
So this is a pull out after leaving Skyline as we're coming around the north side of Cabot Trail. This is what we were hoping to see on the Skyline Trail, was big beautiful Atlantic Ocean, coastline. But it's still pretty foggy, but at least you can see a little bit of the coastline here. Alright, as we continue around the north side of the Cabot Trail, this one is called McIntosh Brook. It's a waterfall out and back.
1.1 miles.
1.1 miles.
About 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, so we're going to go do that and hopefully get a waterfall.
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We've got a little bridge and running water. This is Mackenzie Brook.
Oh, beautiful.
Is that the name of this, Mackenzie?
Yeah.
Okay. And there we go upriver. And that's where we're going. Yay. We got a waterfall. I was able to hop some stones and get a little closer. That's a big waterfall. We had a little one over there. And we got Angel over there. Alright, so first of all I want to apologize. I've been saying Mackenzie Brooks. It's not. I must have Mackenzie Porter on the brain because we saw her Grand Ole Opry on the beginning of the trip.
Yes.
It's McIntosh Brook. And the waterfall, round trip out and back, 1.35 miles. Didn't take that long at all. It was actually a little bigger falls than I was expecting. So, nice stroll through the woods. My only suggestion is bring bug spray.
Oh yes, definitely. It's a little buggy.
It's a little buggy. Ange?
Oh yes, the same thing. It was nice. It was an easy walk. You know, it's the end of the day, so we're just trying to do little stuff, but trying to, you know, see some falls too. So it worked out perfect.
Okay, I think we got one more falls yet today. So
yes, Beulah Ban, I think is what it's called.
We'll get there and figure it out.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Definitely sharp, steep curves as we come down the valley. Absolutely beautiful now that the sun is shining. We're inland a little bit. Alright, I think they pronounced this one Beulah Ban Falls. It's a 2-kilometer dirt road that we're about to take. And then a hike at the end of that to go to the falls. Let's go see what we see. Okay, so we made the 2-mile drive, or 2-kilometer drive down the dirt road. It was pretty skinny in some places, kind of scary, but that's the adventure. We're at Beulah Ban Falls. Let's go find it. Beulah Ban Falls. It's huge. Absolutely huge. And you can almost drive all the way to it. I think we walked 5 minutes from the parking lot. Wow, that's really, really tall. I love it. I did a little rock climbing up the river. I got as close as I could. I mean, there's my feet. Awesome. Whoa, that water's cold. I was able to get right up to the falls, but Angel, can you point to where we're there's 2 different hikes on this sign. We're parked right there. Let me see it get a little closer. There's 2 different hikes. The falls we did is right there.
Right there.
But there's a 6-mile or 10-kilometer hike up to another fall. We just did a little short one right here. Close enough. We're still trying to get all the way around Cabot Trail. So,
yes.
The 2 miles, we have 4-wheel drive, but I don't think you needed 4-wheel drive to get down here.
No,
it was skinny and steep in some areas on that dirt road. But
yes. If we run into traffic on the way back, it's going to be interesting.
one of us will be backing up.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's continue the Cabot Trail.
Okay.
So we're just finishing up the Cabot Trail loop. It's been taking us all day. This is Black Brook Cove Beach. We're still about an hour and a half away from the KOA that we're staying at. But we got beach and we got waves. And we actually have a little bit of blue sky now that we're on the east side. Okay, we are finishing up the Cabot Trail. We went all the way around, 185-mile loop. It's taken us all day, but we stopped at this last pullout so we can put our faces in the sun and blind ourselves.
And look at the coast.
And look at the coastline.
Look at that.
Just absolutely gorgeous.
Yay.
We are going to come back up tomorrow and do
Yes.
a couple more waterfalls, but
Yeah.
this was the complete circle or the entire loop.
Yes.
So Thanks for coming along. We'll keep this video going though. Okay, we're gonna try this again. It's 9:20 in the morning the next day. It was totally fogged in yesterday, and we're looking at the forecast and the water, and there's fog rolling in. We're gonna try our darndest to get out there 2.5 miles as quick as possible. See if we can beat that fog.
Let's go.
Let's go. Well, we made it to the boardwalk, and I think we beat the fog. Yay! I can't wait to get out there and repeat yesterday's picture. Wow, what a difference. Yesterday you couldn't even see that platform. What a difference. Let's go on down to that bottom platform. All right, we made it all the way down to the lowest viewing platform, and there's no fog.
Yay!
It was worth getting up at the crack of dawn and driving up here this morning to do it again. So,
Absolutely.
of course, we got to go all the way back up after we're down here. So, but it's all good. I am so glad we decided to come back out and see the view today that we missed yesterday because of the fog.
And show the stairs you got to come down to.
Oh yeah, you can actually see the stairs now. Let's swing around. There they are there. They go all the way up there. Anyhow, well worth it. Absolutely, positively worth it to come out here and do Skyline a second time.
Absolutely. Agreed.
All right. Oh, what a difference a day makes. That was absolutely beautiful out there.
Fabulous.
4.29 miles. We did the out and back. We didn't do the loop side. Just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you cannot ask for any more gorgeousness, I don't think. So.
I don't think you can. It was pretty spectacular.
So I'm glad we came and did it again.
Yes, it's worth it.
We're going to continue around Cabot Trail, see what we find next.
Let's go.
So we are doing the White Point loop off of the Cabot Trail. This is so cool. You can see the fog in the cove. So we drove all the way down. Found a boat ramp down here. A little jetty and some boats. But still the fog line out there is just cool. This is White Point. Okay, so we're wrapping up the Cabot Trail. We have done the entire 185 loop twice. Once yesterday and once today.
Yes.
Interestingly, yesterday when we did it, the west side was totally fogged over and the east side was beautiful views. Today, exactly the opposite. We got the views on the west side and the east side was totally fogged over. So it worked out perfect doing it twice.
Yes.
So that's it. Cabot Trail, definitely got to do it. We went out to White Point, a little off the trail, but it's still part of the loop. And I was really good. I enjoyed Skyline both times. The middle head was good. I liked the major waterfall that we drove to.
Beulah Band Waterfall.
Beulah Band Water, and you drive to that one. So
Yes.
that one was really good.
Yes.
So Cabot Trail is definitely worth it.
Yes.
We are, I think, done with Cabot Trail. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. I got some repair work to do to an antenna on the RV. We got some things we got to take care of tomorrow, and then Sunday we leave for the ferry. So tomorrow we're just going to hang around the RV, I think.
Yes.
So we'll probably do another video right before we leave. But anyhow, Cabot Trail, add it to your list.
Add it to your list.
Well, good morning. We're wrapping up 2 weeks in Nova Scotia, and guess what we get to do? We did 1 week in Peggy's Cove and 1 week up here at Cabot Trail. The sticker comes in 2 parts, don't know why. But we're going to put on our Nova Scotia stickers.
Woohoo!
There's the lower half by Peggy's Cove. And there's the upper half up there where we're at right now at Cabot Trail. So that's going to wrap up our Nova Scotia 2 weeks. We spent a week down in Peggy's Cove area and a week up here at the Cabot Trail area. So tomorrow morning we put this rig on the ferry and go over to Newfoundland for 2 weeks. How fun, right?
Yes, very excited.
Kind of excited about it, kind of scared, but
yeah, me too. Me too. Excited but scared.
So Nova Scotia, well, we've already done the Peggy's Cove one, so this side, the Cabot Trail, to me, I love that one waterfall, Buller Waterfall.
It's called Beulah Band.
Beulah Band Waterfall. I absolutely love that. It was a simple one. It was a drive to it type waterfall. That was really cool.
Yes.
And making the drive all the way around Cabot Trail was really good.
Yes.
Enjoyed that. So, Angel, your thoughts?
My thoughts. My favorite was, of course, we did the Skyline in the fog, the Skyline Trail, and then we went back and did it in the sunshine. And I'm so grateful we did that because it is spectacular. It was worth the 5 miles. So.
Yeah, we really lucked out because we did the whole loop twice. The first time we did it, the west side was fogged in.
Yes.
And the east side wasn't. And the second time we did it, the west side was clear and the east side was fogged in. So we got to see the whole thing.
Yes, we got to see the whole entire island, which was wonderful. And the whole national park as well, up here at Cape Breton Island National Park.
Yep. And we went out to White Point as well.
Yes, we did.
A short little off the Cabot Trail, a little loop off called White Point. Went down, saw a little fishing village, kind of cool.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it.
That's it. It's been good.
Would you recommend Cabot Trail?
Definitely.
We're staying way down here in North Sydney. It's quite a ways away from the Cabot Trail. Well, I say quite a ways. You know, the Cabot Trail is 185 miles. We're probably 40 miles from the entrance. I would recommend, if you have a smaller RV, to go a little further up and stay just south of the national park.
Yes.
You could get up there easily, just south of the national park. I would not recommend taking a rig this size up all the way around. You'd never make it.
No, well, and the roads are so, there's places, they're skinny and they're uneven this way, which is, you know, if you have a larger rig, you know that's really uncomfortable. And there was actually some road construction up there that we would have never fit through in a million
Yeah, we
years.
actually saw an RV turning around because they couldn't fit through the road construction. So maybe up to the park on either side.
Yep.
But not necessarily go to the other side of the park or even into the park. But
Yes.
that's my recommendation. But I definitely would recommend the Cabot Trail area. No question about it if you're up here in Nova Scotia.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
All right, well, appreciate you sticking around for the whole video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. We're going to wrap this video up, and tomorrow morning we start the ferry.
The ferry adventure.
The ferry adventure.
Yes.
So, all right, well, thanks for coming along.